channel.
You know what time it is, no press fam. The beatdown. Welcome everyone to another episode of The Beatdown, the segment and channel where two worlds collide. I am your host, Class. And as a friendly reminder, if you guys enjoy this content, you know what you can do. You can share, you can like, or you can subscribe to the channel. As always, appreciate you guys. Now, let's get things going. We are going to start things off with the DC universe, shall we? In one corner, oddly, a man who is committed to his contracts. The man himself, the main man himself, Lobo. Alright, so let's talk about the end game, shall we? He'll never stop coming as long as his healing factor continues to remain. And there's no real way to finish Lobo for good, as his spirit just hovers over and waits for his body to regenerate. Meaning that he can blow him up, he can throw something at him, he can turn him into smithereens, but Lobo will continue to come back. I mean, a drop of his blood can make duplicates of himself in the old comics, so yeah, you don't want to mess with Lobo and his healing factor. Now, as long as the contract specifically states by any means necessary, Lobo will never dishonor a contract, nor will he change it under any circumstances. So once you say, hey, you got to get this guy until the very end, he's gonna get that guy to the very end. No bargaining, no no trades, nothing. He's simply going to do his job the way he was told by the contract to do it. Alright, Lobo has a bunch of deadly toys that may be enough to have Homelander discontinue altogether. And now what do I mean by deadly toys? Let's talk about the experiment he did on his home planet, where he destroyed his whole planet. The fact that he is capable of inventing a planet busting device out of trash can parts. I mean, yeah, you don't want to go against this guy when it comes to his weaponry intelligence, because yeah, he's crazy with it. Which means he can set varieties of traps in Homelander's way without any prep time. Considering the fact that even if he had the prep time, he'd still be able to set traps for Homelander, since he did that when he fought toe-to-toe with Superman in certain circumstances and situations. Now, between the two, Lobo happens to be the better fighter. As a superpower character with his impressive fighting skills, while Homelander has that much action in time. He hasn't had that much action in time, sorry. Once again, Lobo has more experience in this actual combat. We had Homelander, usually if you see in the show, I'm not sure in the comics, but mostly in the show, it's kind of a reference of him not really doing much. Everything's kind of staged, so there's a very possibility he's never really faced a great threat like Lobo. The ground level favors him, and Homelander can't use the skies to escape thanks to the main man's flying motorcycle that reach impressive speeds itself to catch up to the man covered in American colors. So let's say Homelander decides to try to first start off with the groundwork, and then he says, you know what, I can't handle this, I'm just gonna go up and just take him on from the skies. Lobo can just easily bring his bike, which is a very intellectual bike, to come to his aid in order for him to even the odds and go up into the skies. Okay, a few more. Lobo has match blows with the Man of Steel, obviously, and Homelander is strong, but Superman is cosmic level strong, or planet busting strong. If you want to give it a fair assessment, which means with Lobo's might, he might lead Homelander to an ultimate doom. Meaning, I think that Lobo might actually be able to pack away more of a stronger punch on Homelander than Homelander would be able to do on Lobo. The main man is a genius inventor, meaning he could develop the weapon that could potentially put down Homelander once and for all, or even invent a formula to weaken the cocky somewhat hero. And I think that's very true, because considering Lobo is actually, don't dismiss him. He might seem like he doesn't know what he's doing, he's crazy, but the guy actually is a pretty intelligent individual, so don't ever give him the chance to claim that W on you, which he will on this end. Alright guys, and now here is the end game on this end. Now, on this corner, A guy you really wouldn't want to stay or be next to in an elevator. Homelander. All right, let's start off with some of the points. His heat vision has some serious kick to it, meaning he can cut parts of Lobo off slowly, slowing him down, and he can think of a game plan. So let's say in a situation where Lobo is doing pretty well and he's actually kind of like having the boy's number, Homelander could probably just use his heat vision to cut up a piece of Lobo, maybe like a leg or something. That way it will take him some time to recover while Homelander thinks of a new strategy to come up with, since he's not doing so well in this fight. The heat vision will help him stay afloat and to slow things down when he needs to. Toss giant enough objects like planes to keep Lobo occupied for some time. There is that potential possibility, considering Homelander has the potential to throw a plane. And some people might not believe that's true, but just because you didn't see it in the series doesn't mean it's not possible. Okay, we also have, he can use his, his high-pitched voice to surprise Lobo during a battle, making him temporarily deaf for maybe a moment, but enough for Homelander to toss him from out of his proximity for recovery. This is pretty much going to be he needs to create distance as much as he can during this fight, because obviously Lobo is a pretty tough character. He's got a lot of things going for him, and Homelander might be strong and he's his own weapon, but Lobo is also a weapon, and he's also a genius when it comes to mastering or using some kind of weapon to his advantage. So yeah, you want to get the space when you can when it comes to fighting Lobo. Use his flight speed to keep Lobo from getting his shot. So he probably, if he needs to run, he needs to run, because obviously Homelander has had moments where he thought about something and he needed to escape because he knew he was outnumbered or outgunned in some situations, and that happened in the show. If you remember Soldier Boy and Billy the Butcher and Huey, when they all ganged up on him. Search areas of nuclear bomb facilities using his vision to see through. Obviously he has a capability of seeing through walls, and take the fight close by and manage to nail Lobo onto a nuke enough to cause an explosive impact, and then rush with his flight speed out of there before it could harm him. So I would recommend, so I'm thinking if there was a fight and they were sprawling, that it would be potentially possible for Homelander to hit Lobo hard enough near a nuke and make that run for it. He might be fast enough to escape it, and Lobo might be able to feel the wrath of that. It might not be completely a KO, because obviously Lobo can come back, but still, a KO is a KO regardless. His skin is pretty durable, meaning it would take a lot of attempts for Lobo to penetrate his own physical armor skin, making his skin as tough as Lobo's healing capabilities. So even if Lobo wanted to use his healing factor as a beneficial situation, there's also Homelander's. His is kind of made out of some kind of like diamond or crystal skin, so it's kind of not easy to drill into. So I do believe that Homelander's durable skin might also be comparison to the healing factor in this circumstances. You either got to have really tough skin you can't penetrate, or you got to be able to heal ridiculously. A fatality is out of the cards for Homelander, but a knockout is not. Lobo is tough, but being taken out means a win. Meaning if Homelander turned him into ashes, it's a win. Like I already said. Even if he recovers. Sorry guys. Homelander could easily send those ashes in space-made bottle and toss that bottle towards the sun, or if Homelander can handle space, maybe even toss those Lobo ashes to a nearby black hole. So yeah, let's say you didn't want to claim that as the KO. Well, then maybe there's a chance that Homelander tosses the rest of that remains before he can heal into the sun or into a black hole, and then that way he won't be able to come back from that even for a very, very long time. Maybe while Homelander's about to pass away. And the last point I'll make is, all else fails, he could quite possibly rush Lobo straight into a hard enough canvas where he turns Lobo's body into something of what you would put in a giant punch bowl on prom nights without being too graphic. So with all that said, with Homelander's already might and his weapons that he already has in his disposal, I do believe he might be able to get that W on Lobo on this end. But as always, no press fam, it's not up to me, it's up to you guys. So if you liked either one of my arguments, you know what you can do? You can hashtag Homelander, or you can hashtag Lobo. And as always, no press fam, we really appreciate you guys. Catch you guys later. Keeping it 500 subs. Peace.
Shout out to all my content supporters. We're not working together, but we like to give credit where credit is due. Ivan the Unstoppable for all the knowledge of comic feats. Watch Mojo for origins and for all the background videos. Comic Historian, Comics Explained, and Key Issues. Go ahead and check them out and tap into the world of comics by supporting other creators. Link to channels will be in the description below.